The confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 2,067 with 15 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 22 additional cases were reported and no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's Wednesday, July 28th. Case rates are spiking for young adults in LA County. Numbers for those ages 18 to 29 saw a 9-fold increase from 40 to 350 cases per 100,000 over the past month. And case rates went up 7.5-fold among 30 to 49-year-olds, from 33 to 247 cases per 100,000. Unvaccinated and partially vaccinated people are suffering from greater illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths. Public Health Director Dr. Barbara Ferrer says while it is important to pay attention to the rapid acceleration of cases, it's also important to note that this pandemic is not behaving the same way that it was before vaccines became widely available. For example, case rates increased up to 5-fold over the course of a month, and hospitalizations multiplied in direct proportion to case rates. Now, even though our case rates have increased by up to 9 times, hospitalizations are at most doubling. Dr. Ferrer says having half of our county's population vaccinated is largely responsible for this positive trend. So far, more than 6.1 million LA County residents have gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, with 5.3 million people fully vaccinated. Unvaccinated LA and Long Beach City employees will soon have to get tested every week. Officials from both municipalities made the announcement on Tuesday, a day after Governor Gavin Newsom declared a similar mandate for millions of state employees and healthcare workers. LA officials say the requirement is part of a broader push to make vaccines mandatory for all city workers once they have full approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And in Long Beach, Mayor Robert Garcia shared a series of tweets, including one that says, all city employees will need to be vaccinated or show a negative COVID-19 test each week. He also thanked the 72% of employees and thousands of Long Beach residents who have already gotten their shots. LA County's weekly test positivity rate skyrocketed to 10.4% from just 1.5% on June 15th. The highest rate is among 19 to 29-year-olds. The United States will keep its current COVID-19 restrictions in place for international travel. White House officials made the decision mainly based on Delta variant cases continuing to rise. Officials stressed that any decision about reopening international travel would be guided by public health and medical experts. Earlier this month, the U.S. Department of State put the United Kingdom on the do not travel list, partially due to a very high level of COVID-19 in the country. Most of continental Europe has relaxed restrictions on fully vaccinated Americans, but U.S. airlines say the lack of two-way travel has limited the number of flights they can offer and seats they can sell. BioNTech announced its plans to develop a mRNA-based vaccine to prevent malaria. Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by a parasite. There were 229 million cases globally in 2019, with at least 409,000 deaths. The majority of cases were in Africa, and children under the age of 5 were the most affected. Company officials say they are aiming to begin clinical trials for the malaria vaccine, testing the shot by the end of 2022. The European Commission, the World Health Organization, and others have been involved in the early planning phase of the new vaccine. They've also offered their support to identify and set up any necessary infrastructure. BioNTech CEO says, quote, "The response to the pandemic has shown that science and innovation can transform people's lives when all key stakeholders work together towards a common goal. We're committed to bringing our innovations to those who need them most." The German drug maker became a familiar name in the U.S. after developing a COVID-19 vaccine with Pfizer. Hospitals in Torrance are among the best in Southern California. U.S. News & World Report announced its prestigious Best Hospitals rankings and ratings this week. For the 10th straight year, Torrance Memorial Medical Center has been recognized as a Best Hospital, ranking 5th in the LA region and 11th in California. The hospital was ranked high-performing in several specialties and procedures, including lung cancer surgery, heart bypass surgery, and spinal fusion. Providence Little Company of Mary ranked number 32 overall in California and 18 in the LA metro area. It was recognized for more than 10 procedures and treatments, including colon cancer surgery, kidney failure, and stroke. Congratulations to both hospitals on their achievements. A flex alert is taking place today through 9 p.m. The California Independent System Operator issued the statewide notice in an effort to protect grid reliability. The call for voluntary action is due to high energy demand and tight supplies. Cal ISO urges Californians to conserve electricity tonight by turning off unnecessary lights, waiting to use major appliances until after 9 p.m., and setting air conditioner thermostats to 78 degrees or higher. Reducing electricity use during a flex alert can prevent further emergency measures, including rotating power outages. For more information and tips, visit flexalert.org. A local organization is finally reopening its doors to the public again for in-person visits after being shut down for more than a year due to the pandemic. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board's one-stop business and career centers and youth centers will welcome back guests for face-to-face visits with masks required. Executive Director Jan Vogel said they are extremely proud to reopen their doors as they serve adults and youth across the South Bay. Some of their services include access to vocational training, computers for job searching, and resume writing assistance. Their one-stop centers are located in Carson, Gardena, Inglewood, and Torrance. You can also call or email to learn more and take advantage of their virtual services as well. The one-stop centers can be reached at 424-419-4343 or email wsbtorranceinfo@edd.gov. You can also visit sbwib.org for more information. Every other week, we feature a Wellness Wednesday story, and today I want to take you behind the scenes to a recent filming with a nonprofit called Family Promise of the South Bay. The organization is based right here in Torrance and helps kids experiencing homelessness to focus on their well-being. For the first time, Family Promise launched a summer camp where students ranging from kindergarten to 8th grade are given a safe space to learn and just have fun. Executive Director Andrew Nishimoto says homelessness has a lot of different faces and is often invisible. Your kids could be sitting next to a child experiencing homelessness at school and not even know it. One of the reasons why the nonprofit decided to put on this summer camp is because many of them don't have permanent homes or access to the internet, and therefore no way to log on to Zoom or to complete their summer classwork online. The children's program manager, Samantha Duran, says working alongside these young individuals has been a priceless experience and reminds her about the importance of simply being present.
They are kids that just show so much resilience, and I think more often than not, they're the ones that are teaching me rather than me being a teacher to them. And I think daily I go home just humbled at just their stories that they have gone through and their willingness and vulnerability to share those with me and invite me into their lives. Every person has a story, and it's so important just to slow down and to take the time to listen to them. It may seem like they're okay, but if you really just take that time to be a good listener, I think we're all good at talking and sharing things, but more often than not, especially me working with these kids, just seeing like how much they just want to be heard and listened to, and they don't want their problems to be fixed on the spot, but they just want to know that someone's there for them.
You can learn more about Family Promise of the South Bay on future episodes of Weekends in Torrance. blood shortage has become a critical issue across the U.S. during the pandemic, forcing some hospitals to postpone surgeries. The American Red Cross reports that red cell demand from hospitals with trauma centers increased by 10% this year, more than 5 times the growth of other facilities that provide blood transfusions. In an effort to help, the city of Torrance is teaming up with UCLA Health to host a blood drive tomorrow, so schedule a time to drop by if you can. It takes place from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Ken Miller Recreation Center, located at 3341 Torrance Boulevard. City workers ask that every donor make an appointment by going online to ucedonor.com. Eligible donors will receive a promotional item. Remember to eat well and increase your fluid intake a couple of days before and the day of your donation. Torrance is the official host city for the 58th International Surf Festival. The multi-day event kicks off today and promotes the South Bay beach cities, the world's best lifeguard service, and physical fitness for thousands of participants. Lifeguard teams from as far away as Australia have competed in the past. Participants ranging from 8 years old to late 80s take part in more than a dozen contests, from peer-to-peer swimming to surfing to volleyball. The paddleboard race takes place at Torrance Beach. The International Surf Festival was canceled last year due to the pandemic, and organizers are excited to bring it back. The Lifeguard Medal of Valor dinner will take place tonight, honoring individuals and organizations that have made a positive impact in our communities, especially during the pandemic. For more information and to see a full list of events, you can go to surffestival.org. The Torrance City Council met last night for their regularly scheduled meeting. This was also newly appointed council member Jack Walzer's first meeting behind the dais. Among the agenda items were resolutions honoring Stephen Robinson, Fanny Rockamora, and Nick Ramirez upon their retirement for their decades of service to the city. City council members received and filed an update from the Public Works Department on City Parkway trees, which could potentially add hundreds of new trees in the city each year. The Planning Commission and the Community Development Director also recommended that the City Council conduct a public hearing on a land use study that involves off-street parking requirements. The Council approved moving forward with the City Manager and the Finance Director's recommendation to submit for voter consideration to find out how the public feels about possibly adding a local 3/4 cent transaction tax to pay for services and city operational enhancements that will ultimately benefit Torrance residents and businesses. You can catch replays of the meeting online and on our channel throughout the week. The next scheduled meeting takes place in 2 weeks, with the public invited back inside the council chambers for the first time since the pandemic. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The city's Social Services Commission is partnering with the Torrance Unified School District to host a back-to-school drive in an effort to help those experiencing homelessness. The back-to-school drive kicked off on July 23rd and runs through August 12th. The commission is looking for new school supplies like calculators, scissors, backpacks, lunch bags, folders, 3-ring binders, glue sticks, highlighters, and extra pencils, erasers, and pencil sharpeners. Donation bins can be found inside the lobbies at City Hall, the Human Resources Building, the Katie Geisert Library, and other city locations. Information can also be found online at torranceca.gov/helping others. What a great way to show how you care for those who are in need of help. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo, or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Bella Shaw brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.